Today's recipe could be more British than Indian, but whatever it is, it's become a classic comfort food in both the UK and the US, and for good reason. The kitchen is now open, so come on in. Let's cook up something good. Our first step is to make a simple marinade and then put that to work on some diced chicken breast for about 1 to 4 hours in the fridge. In my opinion, 1 hour is just fine.
My marinade calls for fresh, finely grated ginger, so first I peel my ginger root thoroughly with my handy-dandy vegetable peeler and then grate it using a fine grater until I have 2 tablespoons. Next, in a gallon-sized Ziploc, I add 2 cups of plain yogurt, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 4 teaspoons of cumin, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 3 teaspoons of paprika, 4 teaspoons of black pepper, 2 tablespoons of freshly grated ginger, and 2 teaspoons of salt. Then I zip it shut and mix it thoroughly until it's all well combined. The next step is to prepare my chicken. I started with about 3 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I trimmed off any fat and then cut it into approximately 1-inch cubes. Then I add it to my marinade, seal the bag, pressing out excess air, and squish and squeeze it on my countertop until all the chicken is coated in marinade. Then it's off to the fridge to do its thing for an hour or so.
While my chicken is marinating, I'm going to make my masala sauce, bring it up to a simmer, and then let it cook for about 20 minutes.
My chicken's been marinating about 45 minutes, so now it's time to start making my sauce. In a large, high-sided skillet or sauté pan, I melt 2 tablespoons of butter and add 2 seeded and finely chopped jalapeños and 1 teaspoon of crushed garlic and sauté those together on medium-high heat for about 2 minutes. Next, I add 4 teaspoons of cumin, 4 teaspoons of paprika, and 1 teaspoon of salt and stir to combine. Then I add 16 ounces of tomato sauce and 2 cups of heavy cream. I mix thoroughly and bring the sauce to a simmer. Then I move it to another burner on low and continue to simmer for 20 to 30 minutes.
My chicken's been marinating for an hour, so now it's time to cook it up and marry it with my masala sauce. First, I pour everything into a strainer so the extra marinade can run off and I can just pick the chicken pieces out. Too much marinade in the pan just makes a big old mess.
I preheat a separate pan over medium-high heat and then add my chicken a piece at a time, being careful not to crowd them. After one side starts to brown, I give them a quick flip to make sure they're cooked through and browned on both sides. Then I move them to the side and repeat until I've cooked all my chicken. My sauce has been simmering and thickening for 30 minutes, so now I add my cooked chicken and stir thoroughly. Over medium-low heat, I continue to simmer for 10 more minutes, and then we are ready to serve.
This recipe is not hard to make, but it does take some time, so plan accordingly and make a lot so you can savor those leftovers on a work or school night when you just don't have a lot of time to cook. Serve it with a side of Basmati rice and naan bread so you can sop up that gravy. And you've got one more delicious example of great home cooking made easy. My chicken's been marinating for an hour, so now it's time to cook it up and marry it with the masala.